Hey, my great friends, and welcome on board. There's a lot going on in Washington right now, and honestly, it's hard to keep up. The U.S. government is shut down, thousands of federal workers are going without pay, and Speaker Mike Johnson just made a move that's got Democrats absolutely furious. He canceled an entire week of House votes. Yeah, you heard that right, no votes, no action, while the government remains closed. So let's unpack what's really happening here, what it means for everyday Americans, and why it's creating such a firestorm. So, here's where things stand. Speaker Mike Johnson has officially canceled all votes in the House for the upcoming week, meaning lawmakers won't be back to work until at least October 20th. The decision came right in the middle of a government shutdown, when millions of Americans are being affected and thousands of federal employees and military members are working without pay. Johnson says the House won't reconvene until the Senate acts on the spending plan that House Republicans already passed. But to a lot of people, that sounds like Washington gridlock at its worst. Think about this for a second. We're in a shutdown, people are missing paychecks, and the House is essentially taking a break. Does that sound like the government we deserve? Democrats sure don't think so. Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries blasted the move as disgraceful, saying Republicans have basically decided to take a vacation while the country suffers. And he's not alone. Democratic Whip Katherine Clark said that showing up for work isn't something to do for show. It's their duty. Representative Maxwell Frost pointed out that Republicans already canceled votes last week, then again this week, and now they're canceling next week's too. You can almost hear the frustration boiling over. And it doesn't stop there. During what's called a pro forma session, basically a quick procedural meeting, Democratic Representative Sarah Elfreth tried to introduce a bill that would ensure troops still get paid during the shutdown. She was ignored, and the House was immediately gavelled out. Imagine that: service members standing guard, showing up for their duties every single day, while Congress just waves off an attempt to guarantee their pay. That has to sting. What do you think? Should lawmakers be allowed to recess while the government is shut down? Another Democrat, Jared Moskowitz, actually proposed changing the rules so that the House can't go on break during a shutdown. It's a move that's gaining attention because it kind of forces accountability. After all, if everyday federal workers can't take time off when things get tough, why should Congress? And here's where things really start to hit home. Democratic representatives from states like Virginia and Delaware, where there are tons of federal employees and military families, are warning that the shutdown is doing real damage. Congressman Suhas Subramaniam said Johnson's move hurts the thousands of service members, contractors, and federal workers who are still reporting for duty but not getting paid. Delaware's Sarah McBride called it devastating for working families who depend on those paychecks. And Virginia's James Walkinshaw said what a lot of people are thinking: service members are missing paychecks, and the House just canceled votes again. They should be ashamed, he said. And beyond the human toll, there's the political side of all this. Democrats are betting that public opinion is shifting in their favor. Hakeem Jeffries reportedly told his caucus that polling shows Republicans are being blamed for the shutdown, and that Democrats should keep up the pressure. He's even urging his members to return to Washington and show they're ready to work, even if the Republican-led House isn't. It's a classic political strategy. Optics matter, especially when Americans are feeling the pain of a shutdown. But what about Speaker Johnson's side of the story? Johnson says the House already did its job, that it passed a spending bill, and is waiting on the Senate to act. In his view, it's the Senate holding things up. He also claims that troop pay was already covered in a temporary funding measure from last month, though that's now being disputed. Critics argue that even if technically true, it's still reckless optics to shut down work while families are worrying about missed bills and mortgage payments. So who's right? Should Johnson stand his ground and wait for the Senate, or should he bring lawmakers back to find a compromise? There's also a strategic element at play here. Some Democrats believe Johnson is keeping the House out of session to prevent chaos within his own party. With the Republican majority already fractured, bringing everyone back to Washington could risk rebellion or internal dissent. It's a delicate balancing act. He's trying to project control, but it could easily come across as avoidance. So now we're left in this awkward political standoff. One where the people who feel the most pain aren't the politicians but the workers, the families, and the troops who depend on the government functioning. It's a reminder that political games in Washington can have very real, very human consequences. I've got to ask, do you think Speaker Johnson made the right move by canceling the votes? Or should Congress have stayed in session to fix this mess? And here's a deeper question. Why does it always seem like it's the public that pays the price when politicians can't agree? This shutdown could easily drag on if neither side blinks. The question is, who will the public hold responsible when the pressure mounts? Will Republicans rally behind Johnson's strategy, or will this become a moment that reshapes the balance of power in Congress? As always, I'd love to hear what you think. These issues affect all of us, whether directly or indirectly. So drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Thanks so much for spending a few minutes with me today. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with a friend who loves following politics, and of course, subscribe to the channel for more real, human takes on what's happening in Washington and beyond. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.